Hello, before we begin today's video, can you please like, share, and subscribe to the channel because it actually helps expand the wonderful knowledge of NY and JPA weather and helps yours truly. So I really would appreciate it. So thank you, and as always, stay safe out there. Now let's get to today's video. Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Friday, October 31st, 2025. Of course, it is Halloween. We're ready with the Godzilla tea. We got the full bars ready. We're ready for the trick-or-treaters. But are you ready for these winds? Well, let's dive into the data. First, we have Hurricane Melissa, still trying to hang on, is rapidly transitioning into what we call an extratropical cold core storm. That's the type of storm that impacted us yesterday, by the way. So this is rapidly getting out of here. Northeast at 41 miles per hour. It has a party to get to and it wants to leave. It's getting towards Europe. So we're going to say goodbye to Melissa. And the good news is that there isn't much in the way of any other tropical activity brewing. So it's very quiet out there as we end October and head into November. Not expecting any development over the next 10 days. And some of the mild guidance goes all the way out to 15 days with nothing really significant popping up. We might see something trying to brew down here, which we typically do for this time of year. So we'll keep an eye on the Southern Caribbean Sea. But other than that, there isn't much else going on out there. Now, closer to home, well, there is a lot going on. As you know, we had a pretty good rainstorm and windstorm yesterday, and the winds are coming back. But why? The storm is already to our north. So what's going on here? I'm going to explain it to you. So that way you have a clear understanding and you can make your plans. Now, right now, the winds aren't too bad. 5 to 15 miles per hour, sometimes pushing up to 20 miles per hour in a few spots here and there. Temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast with variable cloud cover. And as you can see, our storm on our WeatherTap radar and surface map with the roads laid overhead. You can see we have a couple of cold fronts well off to the west that are on the way. We have our storm 986 millibar low, 985 millibar low in central New York, lifting up towards New England. All of our rainfall is to the north here. In fact, let's rotate it and you can see it's all rotating to the north of us. There could be an isolated shower up in the Poconos and Catskills, but other than that, it's going to be generally quiet today in terms of any type of rainfall, just scattered cloud cover. When you take a look at the infrared satellite picture, you can see some trouble is brewing off to our west, though. So here's our storm, and let's go to our water vapor satellite picture. It shows up even better. This trough has been carved out. And right now we have dry air building in and it's pretty quiet, okay? But we have this storm up here and then this short wave and this short wave and this short wave all rotating through. Now for most of the weekend it's going to be pretty quiet, but this one up here is going to be a bit of a pest. Pardon me, right here. It's going to be a bit of a pest by the time we get to Monday, possibly producing a few showers. But let's get back to the winds today. Why are we seeing these winds? Well, first, let's take a look at some data here. And I want to show you this first. Okay, so this first is at the surface. The dark colors are low pressure. The lighter colors are high pressure, right? So what are we seeing? Now, air likes to move from higher pressure to lower pressure. So you're seeing this in real time, right? The air is moving from the higher pressure and trying to fill in the lower pressure because the atmosphere is always looking for a balance. So this would clearly support your sustained winds, and this would easily support, as we move on through the day, 10 to 20, 15 to 30 mile per hour winds sustained. By the way, this out here is Melissa heading this way. No impacts for us. Our focus is really here. This feature right here, because all the air is funneling towards this low pressure. Now, it doesn't go directly because of the Coriolis effect, so you're seeing this rotate in, right? So, okay, so what else is going on? Well, we also have these mid-level winds, and they're pretty strong, at around 30 to 45 knots. So you have your stronger winds at the mid-levels. Okay, but that's in the mid-levels. Why would that matter? Well, we also have cold air aloft. And as we move on through the day, this causes instability. So what I want to show you is this QT log. Okay, this is what we use typically when we start to study thunderstorms and the structure of the atmosphere. We're trying to look for precipitation types in the winter. Hey, is it going to rain, snow, freezing rain? What's going on here, right? Well, in this scenario, we can use it to find whether or not we have instability for the winds. And when you have this signal showing up here and these strong winds showing up here, what happens is that you get a rising motion and then a sinking motion in the atmosphere. And that process allows for some of these winds to mix down to the surface. So you have your 10 to 20, 15 to 30 mile per hour winds at the surface sitting out here, right? And then these winds get mixed down, kind of like an elevator, all right? Brings it right down, and that's how you get your wind gusts ranging anywhere between 30 to 50 miles per hour. Now, this reaches an apex in terms of mixing in the atmosphere in the afternoon. So I'm expecting the winds to pick up around 10 a.m. and then continue to strengthen as we move on through the day, and then start to slide off and reduce as we head towards the evening hours. Why? Because the sun sets and the atmosphere cools. So our instability goes away. But this is in the heart of the afternoon. It's about 2, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And so what you get is this optimal mixing. Notice the lines here are a little bit closer. This tells me we're going to have cloud cover. Not much in the way of rainfall because of all this dry air down here and all this dry air here. But a cloudy day with windy conditions. So that is why some of you ghouls and ghosts out there might be catching some winds and trying to hold on to the candy as you're flying down the street. So if you have any younger brothers and sisters, you might want to keep an eye on them and just make sure that they're safe. Now, what about the rest of the pattern? Well, here's the good news. I don't see any major storms, but a bit of a pest here and there. So as I was talking about our next disturbance, it dives southward and it interacts with another disturbance in the polar jet stream, but not a phase. It just kind of touches each other, right? A little interaction. That's a little high five. And then it just gets kicked right out. Why? Because the whole pattern here is still rather progressive, okay? So what you end up with is a passing shower here on Monday and then a passing shower here on Thursday. But again, no major storms are on the horizon, but a very progressive weather pattern that will start off November rather chilly, but as we head towards the middle of the month, we start to moderate a bit and we get more of a Pacific air mass. But right now we're getting more influence from polar air masses from Quebec and Ontario. So as a result, we start off a bit chilly. So let's dive into this forecast for today. For Halloween, for all you ghouls and ghosts, well, cloudy, bit windy, temperatures ranging from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. Might want to layer up a little bit, or at the very least, be prepared for chilly conditions, especially towards the later part of the afternoon, especially with those winds. For tonight into tomorrow morning, the winds start to subside, still from the west, around 5 to 15 miles per hour, times pushing up to 20. Look for low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s over the northern interior, mid 40s along the coast. Tomorrow afternoon, winds still around 10 to 20 miles per hour, but not as strong of a gust. Look for high temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid 50s along the coast. On Sunday, remember, we're falling back this weekend, so Saturday night into Sunday, fall back your clocks. We will see low temperatures with generally clear skies with high pressure and control, ranging from the lower to mid 30s over the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in your suburbs, lower to mid 40s in your urban areas. And highs will range from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. Now on Monday, there's our low pressure system and our cold front following behind it. Looking for a few scattered showers, possibly about 1/4 inch of rain. Look for low temperatures on Monday to range from the lower to mid 40s, high temperatures to range from the mid 50s throughout the region. On Tuesday, high pressure builds in with scattered cloud cover. Breezy conditions again. Look for low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s over the northern interior, mid 40s along the coast. High temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the interior, mid 50s along the coast. On Wednesday, look for scattered cloud cover with low temperatures in the lower to mid 30s over the interior, upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast, and high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s throughout the region. On Thursday, another cold front will pass through with a few scattered showers, possibly even a flake or two up towards the Poconos and Catskills. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Look for low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. High temperatures range from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid 50s along the coast. And next Friday, tranquil conditions, high pressure and control. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 30s over the northern interior, mid to upper 30s along the coast, and high temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior and upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. That's your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful time trick-or-treating and enjoying your Halloween. And in the meantime, stay safe out there. Thank you for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. But if you want to help the channel out even more, and myself, of course, you might want to check out Premium Consulting Membership, which provides amazing content and information that you get beyond the daily video that you see Monday through Friday. So what do you get? Well, you get updates every day in the Premium dashboard, starting with, of course, checking out the latest winter forecast or other seasonal forecasts throughout the year. Live coverage room where you can ask me questions live and I respond usually within a few minutes. Also, the latest holiday updates, how the weather will impact that upcoming holiday. If you are into landscaping or you work in landscaping, should I say, you will get the latest details on whether or not rainfall will be a threat and impact your job. And of course, there is all the other content. The zoomed in impact map, the severe threat analysis, long range thoughts, the premium consulting video, and also energy analysis, seasonal analysis, additional analysis when the storms get really tricky, winter storm overviews, and when the tropics gets really active, all of the updates, including the individual storms and the overview as well. And if you're a business owner, we also have a specific impact forecast for you guys as well, your own weather map. So let's take a look at the prices. Pretty fair. $15 a month gets you all this information. If you're looking for a little bit of a discount, you can also have a yearly at $150 and quarterly at $60. And also, for all of you business owners out there, you have the ability to get your own web page, your own consulting analysis based on what you need every day in the morning, updated Monday through Sunday without any delay. And of course, you can call me up as well and have that one-on-one consultation. So all this and more at NY and JPA Weather. Thank you as always for being a subscriber and watching the videos. But if you're looking for a little bit more, this would definitely be one of the ways to do so. So in the meantime, stay safe out there.